What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my 2013 WWE Summer Slam recap video. Let's get into it. First up, I didn't see the pre-show. I wish I had. I heard the crowd was really into it. It was RVD challenging the U.S. champion Dean Ambrose of the Shield. Of course, he had the members of the Shield, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, outside the ring with him. RVD had Mark Henry and the Big Show. Heard the crowd was super hyped. Heard the Shield got involved. Heard they got disqualified. Already got the win, but he didn't get the title, so that's how that goes. Bees like that sometimes. Into the main event, I did see this. It was first up, the Ring of Fire match. I was really looking forward to this. The debut of Bray Wyatt and Wyatt family. Bray Wyatt. The build up to this has been great. There hasn't been an oddball character like this who was serious in a while, so I really like Bray Wyatt. I think he's refreshing. Unfortunately, the match was womp womp. The Ring of Fire itself was very limiting to the in-ring competitors. They couldn't really do too much. Outside the ring, of course, you had the other members trying to get in the ring several times. Eventually, they put the ring apron on top of the Ring of Fire, got into the ring, beat up Kane, eventually took him outside the ring, hit him in the head with the steps, and took him off with them. So it's kind of a to be continued there. Side note, the firefighters put out a stick that was on fire, and the crowd went nuts. So kudos to the firefighters doing their job. Next up, we had Damien Sandow versus Cody Rhodes' ex-friends. Match went back and forth. It was short. It was kind of to the point. I don't know if it really was needed. Damien Sandow had the Money in Bank briefcase handcuffed to the ring post. Eventually, Cody Rhodes got his finisher, got the 1-2-3. Cody Rhodes got the win. Next up, we had a Divas match, I'm sure because of the success of Total Divas, which I do like. We'll talk about that later. We had Natalya, accompanied by the Funkadactyls, versus Brie Bella, accompanied by Nikki and Eve Marie. Good match, short, to the point. Of one point, Nikki tried to get involved, but of course the Funkadactyls attacks them, so a little bit of outside the ring action. Natalya got her sharpshooter submission. Brie tapped. That's that. Next up, we have the World Heavyweight Champion, Alberto Del Rio. He made Lillian announce him in Spanish. It was great against Christian. You know what? This was one of my favorite matches of the night. It was straight to the point, no hijinks, no disqualification, none of that. And there was straight up match. They went back and forth. There was one spot where Christian was sitting up on the top ropes backwards. Alberto jumped up and popped him in the back of the head. This was hard hitting, man. Christian put on a great match. Christian's back, dude. I like Christian. He's back. Eventually, Alberto Del Rio did get him to submit to the crossarm breaker. And this was a little side note again. He gave his big speech about how he's basically the Mexican hero and the hero to the Mexicans here in the U.S. And it's funny because it was supposed to be an arrogant speech that he was supposed to get booed, but he's in Los Angeles. Half that crowd's probably Mexican. And he got cheered, like gloriously cheered for it. So it's kind of funny, kind of a backfired there. But it was one of my favorite matches of the night. Next up, we had the Brock Lesnar, accompanied by Paul Hayman. I love Paul Hayman. Versus CM Punk. Love CM Punk. This, for me, was the best match of the night. It was long too, but it needed to be. Boy, it was entertaining. The ups and downs, the roller coasters. Paul Heyman was all up and through it. This was hard hitting. Brock Lesnar, he looked in shape. He sweat all over the place, but he looked in shape. He was nice and cut up. His stamina didn't go anywhere. Cardio was there. Punk was his usual self. Clobbering time. He was throwing Punk all over the place. This was hard hitting. There was one point outside the ring, throwing him around in the ring. Outside the ring, he basically tossed him through the air, and Punk hit the announce table, rolled off and rolled over, tossing him all over the place. Paul Heyman. I love Paul Heyman. Every time CM Punk got the upper hand, here was Paul Heyman. He introduced a chair into the ring at one point. At one point, he himself lunged into the ring when CM Punk was about to get the count, the 1-2-3, and he dove on top of Punk and then was doing the windmill punches. It was hilarious. Punk looked at him like, are you serious? Punk hit him in the face, got his submission on, and he was tapping, but that gave Brock Lesnar time to recover. There was one moment where Brock Lesnar had him up for the F5, and he grabbed Paul Heyman's tie because Paul Heyman was standing on the apron, and he wouldn't let him go, and so Brock had to drop him because he couldn't get the F5. Paul Heyman was everywhere. It was awesome. I love Paul Heyman, if you can't tell. This match was my favorite. It was great. Eventually, again, the chair was introduced. They both took and gave huge chair shots, hard chair shots. Eventually, Punk got F5'd onto a chair by Brock, and Brock Lesnar got the 1-2-3. This was the one true surprise of the night for me. I thought Punk was going to get this win. He did not. He got pinned, so I loved it. All right. Next up, we kind of had a little buffer match. It was AJ Lee and Big E Langston versus Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn. Short match, it had to be because the last match was pretty long. Short match, they kind of all got their spots. Caitlyn got a spear to AJ on the outside of the ring. Eventually, this ended with Dolph Ziggler getting his finisher onto Big E. It was a little unbelievable because the match wasn't really long enough, and so he really didn't do enough damage to Big E for Big E to be finished that quickly. He just kind of, Big E's a big old thick boy, so it kind of takes a lot to put him down, but he did get the win. Dolph Ziggler got the win. I hope that this is the end of this and they put Dolph Ziggler back into the title hunt here. So next up we had the main event, and it was the underdog. Well, I love Mr. Daniel Bryan, and yes, I was going yes, yes, yes. His whole walk down the ramp, I was going nuts, and every single member in that stadium was yes, yes. It was pretty awesome. Out comes John Cena. I want to say it was mixed, but it was mostly booze. He was getting booed. Came down. This was a great match. He had his elbow heavily taped. John Cena, that is. He's going out for surgery after this. He's hurt. Kind of gave it away there. Going back and forth. There's a lot of Japanese style antics in this match. It was pretty long. A little slap fest going on there. They were outside the ring, inside the ring. It was hard hitting. This was a good match. Daniel Bryan is great. And he has that ability to make others look good. I'm not saying John Cena's not good. He can go. And he can really go with someone who's really good at making people look good, really good at stringing together transitions and putting the roller coaster of the match, the story, the drama within the match. Daniel Bryan was awesome. Of course, he got the pin, he got the win, he got the belt. And then I hear voices in my head, they talk to me. Randy Orton comes down the ring, comes halfway down the ring. Daniel Bryan, he's still got something left. He's not knocked out. He beats John Cena. John Cena congratulates him. He's off. He's gone. He's still there. He's standing. He's ready. He's like, come on, Randy. Come on. So Randy Orton waits halfway there. And for a minute there, I was like, please, surprise me. And don't cash in your Money in the Bank briefcase. Because they've basically been telling us that he's going to do it for the last, 2 months. So I was like, please, surprise me. Stands there. Confetti's going. Turns around. Goes to walk away. He doesn't want none of Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan's not hurt. He's there. He's ready. And then the game. Triple H, who was the special guest referee, who has not left the ring. I was wondering why. Turns. He gives Daniel Bryan the pedigree. Randy Orton turns around, comes back down the ramp, into the ring, cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase, pins him effortlessly. 1, 2, 3. New champion. I hear voices in my head. So that's my recap of the 2013 WWE Summer Slam. You know what? Overall, I like this event. There's plenty of moments where I was excited, as you could see in my recap. Tell me what you thought. All right, everyone, that's my recap. Take care and goodbye.